about. Can USC elevate itself from the very good standard of 2022, rise to that ultra elite standard in 2023? I'm not predicting what's going to happen. I do think USC is going to go 11-1. I am on record as saying that. But I don't think it's any kind of lock or guarantee that USC is going to become that elite playoff level team this year, because there are questions on the defense. But I do think relative to the competition, USC can go 11-1 in the 12-game regular season once again. And I think most USC fans would sign up for that if offered that possibility right now. But this season is really about proof of concept. And just reading the comments for everyone watching here at the Voice of College Football, so much worrying about USC recruiting. Look, it's not as though this staff, which did such a great job in June, suddenly forgot how to recruit in July or stopped working hard in July. I mean, things change. Kids making decisions. And of course, what we're seeing with realignment, all these things swirling around, like, it's not as though the USC staff stopped doing its job. I mean, this staff was doing a phenomenal job. Everything was coming together. You're going to hit some potholes. You're going to hit some bumps in the road when you're a program which has not had proof of concept at the level that Kirby Smart does, at the level that Nick Saban does, at the level that Jim Harbaugh has now recently established the past few years at Michigan, at the level Ohio State has generally had over the last decade with Urban Meyer, now Ryan Day, continuing to keep that program in the top 5 of the United States. USC has not reached that level. And so because it hasn't reached that level, you will get moments of uncertainty. You will get moments of hesitancy from recruits. Like, do I really want to go to USC? The coaching staff, in my mind, is doing a really good job. I don't think we can say great job just yet, because USC has to attain that higher standing. So you can't give the coaching staff an A+, but certainly like a B+ or A-. Like, I wouldn't say this coaching staff was failing. It was a top 5 class just a few weeks ago. Let's allow this cycle to continue. I mean, USC fans understandably were freaked out a year ago with the Josh Connerly and Francis Mauigoa swings and misses in recruiting along the offensive line. But Josh Henson regrouped from that. He rebounded from that. He showed that he could be a strong offensive line recruiter. And, Dante Williams, for all that I've said about him, like, he's shown that he's an elite recruiter on defense for USC. So we need to let this cycle run its course. And the biggest thing of all is that if USC wins the Pac-12 at the very least, and then especially if it makes the college football playoff this year, that's proof of concept. That's an affirmation that the program is, if it isn't at that elite status, it's certainly headed in the right direction. And you're going to win more recruiting battles in future seasons, in future cycles. That's going to take care of itself. The winning is going to take care of itself if USC is able to achieve it. So for people worrying about the 2024 recruiting cycle, hey, it's less than 3 weeks until game 1 against San Jose State. This is the last Pac-12 football season ever, and USC wants to have that great send-off going into the Big Ten, and it's about getting back to Las Vegas, getting back to the Pac-12 championship game, finishing the job there, getting to the playoff, seeing what kind of magic this team can create. Let's enjoy the ride. Let's rev up for the season and not get too far down the recruiting rabbit hole and, the twists and turns and the permutations. I mean, July was undeniably a bad month. It's been a bad 4 weeks for USC in recruiting, but like when things had been going as great as they were, like, do you think this coaching staff just got lazy or stopped working? Like, as though it stopped trying or it stopped understanding, the secret in terms of what to do and how to do it? Come on, let's not panic. Let's not jump off the deep end like that. And let's now focus in on this season and USC taking care of some unfinished business as it tries to return to the Pete Carroll standard under Lincoln Riley.
Our buddy Tim Prangley is mentioning to look at the average player ranking, and this is a conversation that I had a number of times early in the recruiting cycle when Michigan was vaulting to the top 2 spots. So we'll take it from the top. So we all see what the ranking is there on the far left. And then we see the number of commits, and Georgia is doing both. They're grabbing quantity and supreme quality with the best average player rating, but Ohio State's right there. And those two, actually, when you look at average player rating, are killing it. They are basically 2 points higher per average rating than anybody else. And then you see Michigan with a really good class, but fortified again by 27 commits. And then as we get down toward USC, and again, Alabama, we need to look out for Alabama because their per player rating is just under 93. So they're on that level as well. Those three are out recruiting everyone. But to Tim's point, USC at 91.67 with only 15 commits. So they have a higher per player rating than Oklahoma, 2 spots higher, Texas A&M 3 spots higher, Clemson, LSU, Oregon, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan at number 5. So they're higher than all of those, and Florida State at number 4. So the quality is quite good for Lincoln Riley and company.
Yeah. I mean, and we have plenty of time left in the 2024 cycle, not to convey the attitude of, oh, it's just going to automatically work out. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that USC is not yet at that level as a program where it's going to get the benefit of the doubt, in terms of recruits making up their minds, in terms of flipping, to Oregon, as we've just seen with Dakota Fields. USC hasn't yet regained that airtight level, that Kirby, that Saban have, that Harbaugh is really, is getting right now, based on what he's done the past 2 years. Like, you have to win at an elite level. You have to get the reputation of being a skull crusher in the industry. That's when you're going to lock down everything and you're going to go click, clack, and you're just going to trample on everyone else. USC's not there yet. So the winning's going to take care of itself. The winning will solve the problem. The business of USC is winning and making sure that Alex Grinch is able to do the job on defense this year. Like, that should be the focus of every USC football fan. Like, not to de-emphasize recruiting, but just the point is, if USC has a big year on the field, it's going to have a big off season on the trail, and the recruiting episodes such as this one with a flip to Oregon, they're going to decrease in frequency and significance, and that will resolve itself. So, as Al Davis said, just win, baby. That is the solution to the lingering incomplete elements, let's say. I wouldn't necessarily say flaws, but just, not being at the very top standard. The winning will fix that problem, believe me.